Well, here. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody. It looks like we have great representation of international IP coordinators all around the world. We have a nice sized group here, and what we do is proceed through for about 50 minutes, 50 minutes, the content that we've developed for you, providing information and an overview of AP, provide leadership to an AP program, and administer the AP. And for that, we'll take about 10-minute questions. I'd invite you to feel free to use the chat in the bottom right. Everyone is able to see it. You can post questions throughout. However, mute your microphones if you haven't already. Be muted already for you, but if there's feedback and other people hear me, the presenter, better if everybody else is muted. So please, again, feel free to add questions. My colleagues, Stephanie Trainer and Annie Choi, will be answering in the chat. So also keep an eye out for answers so we don't repeat questions. And if for whatever reason we don't answer your question in the chat in real time, we will follow up with an email to you directly. Okay, we want to invite you to be participative and interactive. To be, we see who's with us today. So Annie, would you please pull up the poll question? Since you should be able to see the poll in right-hand side. There they are on the right-hand side in the sidebar. Look at the first one. Where's data? Just to get a sense of who's with us today. A, North Africa. B, North or South America. East Asia, the Pacific. Europe, Eurasia. North Africa, Asia, or others. So please go and select. Okay. With them, I'm going to submit mine. Invite errors. Working. Okay, and the results. Technical difficulties with the poll. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Annie. So it looks like we did capture some information from participants. So let's just take a look here. Where you're located, looks like the majority of our guests today are North and South America, with Europe and Eurasia also weighing in. And then no answers. How long have you been an AP coordinator? 1 to 3 years, overwhelming, and not yet. And that's the same information that we received in the survey that you all filled out when you registered this. So we've tailored the content for mainly new or emerging AP coordinators. How many courses does your school offer? Looks 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 are coming in at 28 and 21 was the most likely answers. And then how many estimated total students will sit for exams? And like between 50 and 100 and 100 to 250. So pretty volume for some of you. And we're going to do our best here to equip you for a smooth running AP program. Participate in the poll. This by the way, will not be our last poll. We'll do a couple more, so you'll have a chance to weigh in if you didn't in the first one. So with that, let's get into it. But I have these. Okay, today we'll take a quick look at the learning objectives, and then after that we'd like to give you an overview of the AP program as well as what's in AP. And then we'll take a look at the AP Coordinator's timeline. I've posted this. Most of you, I saw, were downloading it as you were waiting for us to begin. Our AP is a handout for you to keep and pin up and make sure that you're hitting all the important dates. We'll talk very quickly about for students taking AP as well as our AP International Recognition policies. We are now recognized by more than 600 universities in 60 countries around the world. Let's take a peek at that. And then we'll explore some AP best practices together before moving into resources and professional development opportunities. And finally, we'll do the 10-minute Q&A. I am your presenter today. My name is Brian Hartman. I'm the Director of International K-12 and Business at the College Board. In the College Board, just over a year ago, I was an international school and AP coordinator in the country Colombia. I have some experience from a practitioner's perspective and hope to share with you my own learnings from when I was running AP. By the end of this webinar, you, the AP coordinator participants, will have learned about the success of AP globally as well as where it's going in the future, the resources and PD opportunities that are available to you and also to your AP teachers and colleagues. All the processes for ordering, for storing, for administering, returning, and paying for AP exams, all of the small sort of logistical issues regarding your role as AP coordinator. We'll audit. We'll take a look at the purpose of the audit, what the goals are, as deadlines, and then some tools that are related to the audit. And as I mentioned before, we will look at a couple of best practices. We'll give you some suggestions, and we can talk a little bit about strategies for building your program and actually providing leadership to it. So begin with an overview of AP. And with our overview, we will return to our poll questions, a little quiz here. I'd like to invite Annie to post on the set of questions. Annie, do we have that? There we go. Okay, thank you, Annie. On the right-hand side, we have a couple of questions. Please answer 4 of these questions and then hit submit. Different AP courses are offered by the College Board currently. Question: which of the following is not an AP course? We'll test your knowledge here to see how many with the different course offerings. 3, which of the following is an essential document for teaching an AP course? When your AP teachers come to you and ask for support for building their courses, how can you help direct them? Which of these documents is an essential document for them? And then the fourth one, AP to be equivalent to, is it 1 semester of college instruction, 2, 5 years, or some combination of them? We know universities around the world do recognize and they do build their own policies, but College Board, we work with our colleagues in higher education to recommend different course equivalencies. Okay. 2 weeks to get your final answers in, and then going to invite Annie to, close the poll. Good, thank you, and can we see the results? Let's see how people did. Okay. Different courses are by the College Board in the AP program. Right. We had, looks like 27% said 34, which is the correct answer. 24% said 33, and a couple said 31 and 19. 34 different courses. Listed in question 2, AP choice A is the one that is not an action like most of us got. And say which of the following resources are essential for teachers developing their courses. Looks like most of you got it was E, A, B, and C. All of them. The AP course description is the very long document with all of the details. The teacher's guide is more of a pacing guide developed by experienced AP teachers, and then released exams, of course, can be beneficial. We'll look later at where you can find all of those different resources. And then the fourth question is, which of the AP courses, are they designed to be 1 semester, 2 semester, 5 semesters? Again, this is E, A, or C, and it looks like nobody guessed that. So I will show you here. If you direct back to the slides, we have the recommended number of semester hours, the course equivalents, for 44 A courses and exams. With it here, 1 semester of college, you'll see that Calculus AB course is equivalent to 1 semester. In 2 semesters, you'll see Calculus BC course. And you can see that our language and exams and courses are the equivalent of 5, 6 semesters of university study. This edit, sometimes it's more user-friendly to put them in and allow color to distinguish between them. So we have 1, 2 semester and 5, 6 semester courses. And you'll see the language courses are designed to be 5 semesters. Most of the other courses, 1 or 2 semesters. I should add that most of our courses are intended to be taught throughout an entire year at the high school level. There are exceptions. Macro and micro econ are typically taught in one semester consecutively throughout a single school year. We also do see sometimes psychology is also taught in 1 semester. But by and large, the majority of schools are using 2 semesters each. We'll look then at a couple more of the details here for an overview. AP has been around for years, since the middle of the 20th century, and we are now today in May 2013. We had 8,000 schools in 120 different countries around the world. Historically, that's been international schools or American-style schools or U.S.-style schools, but recently that we have local schools around the world that are attempting to internationalize, or schools with a strong bilingual or language acquisition, English language acquisition program, implementing AP courses and having their students take exams and do a good degree of success also. In 18,000 schools in 120 countries this past year, we had over 1 million students, took almost 4 million exams. And for that, the share outside of the United States were over 100,000 for a year in a row. We are very proud of the fact that we've hit the threshold. Just for reference, I'd like to show you the growth the last couple of years. So you can see that looking at about 11 to 13% growth year over year and internationally. And it is steady, even robust at times. Markets are driving it. Middle East and Southeast Asia and China have had the greatest growth, but the growth everywhere around the world. And we're comfortable with these numbers, and we're glad that AP is being recognized for a program that all students can participate in, not just US-based students. AP, what do we mean? Really, there are 3 main components. We have the AP courses, and these are modeled after the Common comparable universal course, and we just saw the recommended equivalencies for the AP exams. And these are developed by committees of academics, scholars, and AP teachers, and are scored by AP readers, as we refer to the people who grade the exams. And it may be interesting to note that the AP exams are over a couple of weeks in May and June every year in a centralized location. So we actually do have all of the readers present in one spot per their subject, and they're able to look at the exams, and that way if there is doubt or discrepancy about any seeing in one of the exam responses, they can confer directly with their colleagues, their supervisors. So it is a good system. It is valid and reliable, and we're proud of that. The third component, AP professional development. AP development, it's not actually required for AP teachers, although we highly recommend it, so that your teachers are equipped with all sources and all of the learnings that they need in order to build the course effectively and then work with students on the learning experiences. We do recommend it. We do have events around the world. We're really attempting to offer more AP subject workshops live around the world, and we do hope that to expand that offering. I'll show you in a little bit the different offerings that we have planned for this school year. And I would invite everybody to take advantage of our chat on the right side. If it sounds like people have some audio issues, and it looks like maybe some people have done that, but to what Annie has already and Stephanie have already responded in the chat. We are recording this webinar and we will post it, and so you'll have access to it. So if you are interested in viewing the slides again or sharing this presentation with others, you're welcome to do that. And then a final piece to the overview here, I'd like to show the exams and courses are by discipline: English, history and social science, math, natural sciences, and world languages. So now with that, about the AP coordinator. You as AP coordinator, which are you not also elected to be? A teacher, accountant, partner at school, the coordinator. So all participants on the right bar to answer which following cannot serve as the AP coordinator. I'll give you just a minute here, and then close our poll and post our results. Good. Okay, the results, there they are. Okay, so looks like 6% said administrator, 6% said AP teacher, which is in fact the correct answer. Part-time, 14%. I'll take a quick look at the profile and the roles. The reason that we ask the AP coordinator not be the AP teacher is because the coordinator is in charge of ordering the exams, but more than that, receiving the exams and storing them securely, so as to not compromise the integrity of. I think that the AP coordinator not be the same person who's teaching the course, because they would perhaps to peek at their exams beforehand. So it is a big responsibility. In addition to all the logistics and the ordering and all that, you are in charge of the security component of AP administration, which we know is stressful. These are high stakes examinations. So we do thank you for your commitment to security during aspects of the exam ordering, storing, administering, and return process. What else do you do, though? You also do, as leaders in your community, you provide support to not only your AP teachers, but you also likely will be working with your fellow administrators or your administrators, maybe in some cases your board of deans or your board of directors, the students and their parents, and you may also be in charge of procurement, ordering resources for your AP teachers. So there's a lot that goes into this, and we do recognize that. So in order to help you with all the necessary information for answering the questions of all these different constituents in your community, what's new in AP? The AP teacher community debuted about a year ago, and this was a great development, I think. In addition to providing the enrichment opportunities to learn the College Board and the AP program, we're also interested in supporting the AP teachers and the educators in professional growth. So this is one of our outlets here. This is leveraging the power of social networking, particularly, I think, powerful for those of us that are based internationally and may feel isolated at times because you're not part of a larger district where there are 40 other U.S. history teachers. I invite you to take a look at the AP teacher communities for networking with your. I'll also add that these teacher communities, the message board moderated by readers and what we on the development committees. So that information posted there and is accurate. DP teacher community is quite welcoming. If you haven't already, I invite you to sign up for an account. Sometimes the easiest way to find this is by Googling AP teacher community rather than trying to find the pathway through our website. If you're having difficulty locating the community. AP teacher communities, by the way, for coordinators. In addition to all of the different subjects, you yourselves can sign up. What else is new? On scoring, debuted, of course, in a couple of months, and by and large, it was highly successful. We're very happy with the way this rolled out. There were, I think, a few technical difficulties, but mostly this went very well, and we received positive feedback from everybody. Your students can access their accounts or create their accounts to receive their online scores in the future at pscore.org. And this is also the portal by which students can scores to different universities. So we're glad that it's all streamlined. When I'm an AP coordinator, I'd have students emailing me in July asking me, wait, please share with me my AP score. Because the mail hasn't gotten here yet, internationally. So I would end up really responding to a lot of different students, sharing their scores with them. The AP score site, again, colorful, bright, clean, very winning. And the thing that I like about it is, I'm going to show a screenshot here. This is, if you scroll down on this site, there are a number of other resources for students. So we know that students will be accessing their scores on this site, and we decided to give them information beyond just their scores. So on the right side here, you can see that there is information about universities in the U.S. that grant credit for AP, different ways that you can save on university costs by AP, scholarship opportunities, and then along the bottom, awards and things like that. So we're trying to also use this as a central portal for students to keep them informed. What else? AP Central has received a facelift. This is our prime site for all AP constituents, teachers, administrators, and students. It provides a number of bits of information as well as downloadable resources and things like that. We would like you to take a look at our site here. It's easier to access AP Central by Googling AP Central. Find it through our College Board site. At the top, you'll see on the left side are linked to the different AP courses and exams. This is where teachers who are building their courses can get more information about their courses. They can download the course in the teacher's guide. They can download the sample syllabi for preparing their audit. There's at the top, which is for the AP course audit. So if you want to go directly to the AP audit page, the landing page, and your account and upload your syllabus and look at those resources, it's accessible through AP Central. The AP student page is the one that you can see in the top at the middle. This is a student-facing page, and it's very good. We also have a page dedicated exclusively to the advances in AP. So some of the in AP pieces that we're going over this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are, also centrally located and linked to AP. This is the student I mentioned. Explore AP is a new resource, and it's very good. So as students continue to ask you questions about AP, and are they going to get credit, and how can they, exams they could maybe take that aren't offered as courses at your school, and all of the different questions you get as coordinator, you direct them to the Explore AP student page. Other in AP, every semester, the AP program posts practice exams in 15 highest volume, listed here on the right, are all downloadable for you, and they are the version of the exam that your students took in May 2013. So it's timely and relevant. Can invite your teachers to download their corresponding practice exam AP audit. This is one of those resources that is not available publicly on AP Central. It's available sort of behind the audit wall. So we want to get teachers into the audit so that we can continue to support them with resources and have them on our mailing list so they're aware of professional development activities, and also to recognize your school on the AP Ledger as an official AP course. And so as one of the incentives, we do post these exams behind the audit wall. Working with the AP course redesign is, I think, a very exciting initiative. It's using the principles of understanding by design to rework some of the AP courses. You can see our launch schedule. This current year, 2013-14, Chem and Spanish language have been designed, which is to say that in May of 2014, the newly redesigned chemistry exam and a Spanish language exam will be administered for the first time. In the future, algebra-based, Physics 2 algebra-based, and U.S. history will be unveiled. Physics 1 and 2, I'd like to mention, those are the two courses that will emerge from the redesigned Physics B course currently in existence. The current B course will actually be split into two courses, and this speaks to one of the intentions of the redesign, which is to the scope of and allow for depth. So Physics B will become AP Physics 1 algebra-based and AP Physics 2 algebra-based, as opposed to Physics C, which stands for calculus, and those are the calculus-based courses. So Physics 1 is an AP course. It's recommended to be AP Physics 1 for an entire year as a course. We are working with universities to develop recognition policies for each Physics 1 and Physics 2 independently of each other. We will have an exam for Physics 1 and an exam for Physics 2. Those are different. So they are standalone courses, but they will likely be sort of sequential at your school. So if you're looking to implement Physics 1, recommend that you do it in the equivalent grade 11 or the penultimate year. Physics 2 could be offered in the last year or the US grade. And students take Physics 1. There's no obligation to take Physics 2. Perhaps they want to take Physics C instead if they're feeling more comfortable with calculus, or they want to change and do a bio or AP Chem instead. This is the redesign process for Physics B. Physics C, I can see Zoe's question. Physics C is continuing. Okay, there will be, or rather change to Physics B will not affect Physics C in any way. Design process has emphasized, as I said, the understanding by design principles, but also attempt to integrate the 21st century skills and competencies, the global competencies, into the AP courses. The critical thinking, the creativity, the communication, the collaboration, cross-cultural and awareness, and into the redesign. First of all, if you're looking for more specific information about the redesign, you can see this is the Advances in AP page that we saw that was linked to AP Central. On the bottom there, you can see what's changing, and it gives the timeline. And so if you're interested, if your physics are interested, or for example, physics teachers or science departments are looking at more specifics about what Physics 1 is going to be or Physics 2, those are hyperlinked, and so you can actually go right to the physics page and get the details. But to redesigning the course, AP is also working on an initiative called the AP Capstone Program, and this speaks to the 21st century skills. It is an attempt to the power of AP and access to rigor that students have, but also focus more on interdisciplinary connections. And so the way this course, this program is going to be rolled out is with 2 new courses. At the bottom, an AP seminar course and an AP research course. This is very exciting. This is actually in a pilot phase right now in a collaboration with Cambridge. The AP Cambridge Capstone Program. Maybe some of you have heard about that. This is year 2 of a 2-year pilot. And we've learned about the pilot. It's gone very well. 17 school systems around the world have piloted this. Last year they did an AP Global Issues seminar course, which investigated a global topic and allowed students to deep reading and discussion about this global topic, and then ultimately a team presentation and an individual project, and then sit for a skills-based written exam. And the feedback was very positive. All of the systems said that students who were in the course loved it. Students who were not in the course wanted to be in it. Younger students were already excited and asking about it. Now we are moving forward on a very limited basis, doing this in more school systems as the AP Capstone Program in 2014-15, and it will be a wider release in 2015-16. Seminar course and AP research course. So if you think that this might be appropriate for your school, this is the direction that AP is heading, and we're very excited about it. I'd welcome you to contact me or our international@collegeboard.org email. Show the email at the end. We can begin conversations with you. If you look at it as a full capstone program and diploma, we can see the AP seminar and the AP research courses do form the centerpiece. I mentioned the seminar course will revolve on 3 major assessments: the team project, the research-based essay, which is individual, and then the written skills-based exam. The 2, the team project and the research-based essay, those will be internally assessed by the AP seminar teacher. The written exam is an external standardized exam, which will be delivered and then sent away, and AP readers in the course of reading other exams will add AP seminar to the reading slate, and they will grade. And so a student ultimately, after the Global Issues or the Interdisciplinary Seminars course, will have an AP score. It's 3 assessments. So they will have an AP Bio, AP Chem score, etc., all the different courses and exams that they've taken. And in addition, they would have a score AP seminar, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Okay. And then in the second year of the program, AP Research, this is an attempt to allow students to engage in deep academic research and drafting while in high school. College Board, we are a membership organization, as you know. We have a number of higher ed, and this program really rose from feedback from higher ed. Said, we love AP, we love the rigor of AP. We find that students who come to our universities are better prepared than their non-AP peers and do outperform their non-AP peers in the 4th year of their university. How to see better skills, better academic writing. So this got the discussions going. Also, as AP continues to evolve, adding a course like the seminar course is important because it's not subject-based. This is an attempt to increase the and interdisciplinary skills all in one setting. So the piece that I like, frankly, about the research course is the defense. After you create this academic paper, you actually need to defend it in front of your teachers. And this is a great, I think, preparation for what you'll be doing as a student in university and beyond as a professional. The AP seminar and the AP research courses, those are the 2 new courses that are on the horizon. And if a student takes those 2 courses and then surrounds those courses with any other 4 exams, that would comprise the capstone, the AP capstone diploma. And those other 4 AP exams, as you can see from this graphic, are the students choose. So we are excited about this. It's available, or it will be available all around the world, Canada, US, internationally. So be in touch if you're interested. Let's jump to some of the nuts and bolts of what the AP coordinator does throughout the school year. As I said, you have this available for download in PDF. Start by looking at the first task, which is renewing the audited AP courses. These courses that your school did have in the audit last year, every August as AP coordinator, when you log into your AP coordinator account, you'll be prompted, do you want to renew? And it's a simple yes or no. So that's actually the easiest thing that a coordinator has to do. After that, the task is the AP participation form. It says due the 15th, although we are aware that some of you may have difficulty receiving it. If you haven't received this form already, it comes by snail mail. Please reach out to nationalcollegeboard.org and we'll email to you. It's also downloadable from the coordinator's homepage, which I'll show you in a little bit when we talk about resources. This form basically declares your intention to enter AP exams at your school. Ensures that you do, in fact, get information about ordering exams in January when that process opens. The AP audit, we did from our pre-survey. We had some people that were interested in the audit. This ends January 31st, and I would just like to take a moment to look at what the goals are. Our secondary schools said, look, we would love a little bit more information, clearer guidelines, resources on what goes to an AP course. And our university membership said, we would like to know, we see on a transcript, AP chemistry. We would love to know what that means. And so the course audit arose not as an extra hoop to jump through, but as a sort of quality insurance mechanism. This is the splash page. Teachers all need to individually create an account. The coordinator have access to this account also. And we would love to see all AP teachers have their courses audited in January, but even before. I'd encourage you, if you're developing new courses or your new teachers who need to do this, have them do it now in October, because they'll get feedback more clearly, and then they can resubmit. Typically, teachers can resubmit their syllabus up to 3 times and get approval. So we do want to work with you. We don't want it to be a barrier to developing an AP course. And then your course, once it's audited and it's official, it appears on the AP course ledger. You can search any school in the entire world on the AP course ledger, see which courses are approved, which ones are not, and you'll be able to use the AP course, the logo on your transcript if you have your course audited. After our ordering phase opens in January and it goes through really the end of March, early April. As such, the official deadline for ordering AP exams are sort of interest. Actually, they have. I actually have here April 5th, but I believe this year it's April 4th. The timeline is correct. It says April 4th. We have the deadline. We have the priority deadline. We have the final deadline. What I would encourage all of you to do is have it done by the end of March. Okay, April 4th is final deadline, and we even have another week extension. The 12th. That's actually April 11th. That deadline. They will still receive your orders, but we're going to charge you a $55 fee per order. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing sometimes. I would say that April, if we go to timeline here, April 4th is the deadline to shoot for. If you have any problems at all, we do work with schools who are having difficulty with their orders. So feel free to reach out to us and we can help support you with that. Our exam administration then is in May. It's the first 2 weeks of May. And a couple things I'd like to mention. We will do another webinar like this, focusing specifically on the exam administration in spring, in February or March. So I don't want to go into too much detail here, but I'd like to just say a couple of things. First of all, the exams, they do need to be stored securely. Okay. AP coordinators in the past have expressed great relief when they've done a pre-registration session. So students, before the actual exam day, you can ask for students to sit down and do the biographical information, the AP exam answer sheet, and there is a PowerPoint for leading the activity that's available in AP Central. You have to consider now how you're going to charge for your exams. Do you want to install a monthly plan? Do you want to charge the full amount now as soon as they register to take the course or the exam? Do you want to charge them just the $15, which is the fee for unused exams? There's a lot of different ways, but begin thinking through that, please, now before it's too late. Our pre-survey indicated that some of you had interest in exams that required special accommodations. These are the exams here: the music theory, the different languages, and studio art. These are the exams that require special equipment, special processes. We will go over this in much greater detail in our webinar in February or March. But for now, most of these do just require audio. The studio art requires submission of a digital portfolio also, and a camera to take photos of those. So you're resourcing your departments and your AP program. Keep all of this in mind, please. Fees. In May 2014, our fees will be $89 for Canada, U.S., U.S. territories and commonwealths, and Department of Defense Education Activity Schools. All locations is $119. I will mention that each school receives an $8 rebate per exam, which say that when you get your packing list and you invoice, you create your invoice to pay for your exams, the actual formula that the system will use for you if you're outside of the U.S., Canada, or the territories is $11, which is to say that $8 goes directly back into your program. So we advertise $119, and that's what you're willing to charge students, but we charge you any more than $111. Quickly, the packing list and exam return, and then the generation of the invoice, that occurs in May. And once you have created your exams, you will create a packing list. This is back in your AP coordinator account. Indicate which exams were used, which ones were used, and then you print one sheet and you include it with your exams. After that, invoice will be due in mid-June, should be June 2014. Your invoice and payment are the puzzle, and we do support schools, I should mention, have difficulty with we can help to arrange transfers and things like that if your international location requires that. So no problem. And then the last, of course, piece of it all are the online scores. There are different score reports that are available to teachers, to administrators and coordinators. These are dynamic. To go in as the coordinator and frankly play around with it a little bit and generate different kinds of reports by grade level, by demographic. And you can also see sort of historical report. You can go back and pull a 5-year school summary. But of different ways that you can view the data, and I think it's very good. So I encourage you to try to reach the full power of the online score reports. Let's talk a little bit about the AP Advantage benefits for students. That most of you are aware, but the number one reason these are sort of the intrinsic benefits of AP is simply that it's an experience of academic rigor. It's a enrichment program. It prepares kids to better, learn more, and to do better in the future. Another little auxiliary benefit is that they can receive college credit or advanced placement with a number of different applications. Maybe it allows them more freedom to do a double major. Maybe it allows them to take more electives. Maybe it just allows them to have sophomore standing when they enroll in university, and they will have tuition savings as a result. There are different ways to recognize students: the AP Scholar Award, the AP International Diploma, and we do think that it's important to celebrate the achievements of students. And so, nice little benefit there. Finally, more and more the college admissions process is looking at the transcript and saying, hey, have you taken full advantage of the most rigorous academic program at your school? I want the answer to be yes. So students who are taking AP courses are better equipped as to stand out in the admissions process. If you're interested in some of the research behind the success of students, collegeboard.org/research is a great site. You can see and download the different studies that have been surrounding AP. You can see that students who take AP have higher first year and fourth year GPAs at university. They have a higher likelihood of majoring in a particular subject in which they took an AP. For the STEM subjects, they have higher bachelor degree attainment rates. There's great information on this site, so feel free to take a look. When you target universities and say, where am I going to get credit? Frankly, there are credit policies at universities all around the world. Here in light blue, countries that house at least one university with a written policy, and the dark blue are those countries that have national policies. If you're interested in searching, the policy student search site is great. You can access it through College Board, or you can just Google AP Credit Policy, and you can search by school name. And then if you're interested in looking at what universities outside of the U.S., right, and you want to search by country, I'd invite you to take a look at the AP International site. This is a new site. This went live, or it's not a new site, but it's a new look to the site. In April of the past year, and it features this drop-down menu where you can use the country and then all the different institutions in that country that offer recognition for AP. An example, if you were to look at Korea, see Yonsei University, and you may go here and read what their policy is on the books. In this, they're encouraging applicants to submit 2 AP exam scores with 3 or higher, and there's contact information also. You can follow up directly with the university. Another example comes from Mexico, the Tecno de Monterrey. In this particular case, the university has posted the actual equivalencies. Calculus score of 4 is mathematics 9, and the student will actually receive an 85% on that course. So this is a tool that I invite you to play around with. Let's talk a little about how you can engage your community. What are AP coordinators and school leaders doing around the world to build their AP program? Creation for your AP program. Develop goals. Do you want to maximize the number of students that participate, or do you want to focus on students who are participating all getting 4s or 5s? As the College Board, we do have policies of equity and access, and we encourage you to make AP available to all of your students. Create your vision. Once you create your protocols, advertise it. Engage the community. Talk about AP at school assemblies. Put it in your newsletter. Talk about it at the college and careers, different community meetings, PTA meetings, and all of that. Engage your community. Take score reports every year. Use that data to evaluate your program and make assessments. Allow students to take online courses. If you're, for whatever reason, for resource restriction, you're unable to offer an AP statistics to your students. Create support systems. A lot of AP teachers get their students going in the summer beforehand, or there's a summer reading. My AP art teacher in Columbia used to invite students to come in and meet and do 3 or 4 art workshops over the summer to get them prepared for their AP art. If kids take the exam, it's not required by policy of the program. Take the exam, but your school may require it, or maybe your school wants to offer incentives instead. Weight GPA is a common one. Offering me a scholarship for exam fees. If they take 3 exams, they pay the price of 2 or something like that. So there's a lot that you can do. I'd also commit a committee of AP teachers to sort of decide these policies together is sometimes the best policy, so that you as the coordinator are not saddled with all of these decisions by yourself. This can also help you create media blitz at the school and engage the student council or the newsletter, the admissions brochure. Also, divide and conquer, delegate. Alum now come back and talk to students, and a lot of times they would end up taught AP and the power of AP and how it served them when they got to university. The same, you could have seniors talk to 9th graders about AP. So a lot of resources find on AP Central that you can use to promote your program. Awards, a lot of times people ask about the different scholar awards. These are available on our website, but there are 3 sort of scholar awards. The regular scholar award, which is a 3-year on exams. There's the scholar with honors, which is 3.25 on exams. There is the scholar with distinction, which is 3.5 on the 5 exams. And in addition to these, you may have heard about the APID, the International Diploma. This collection of 5 exams in different disciplines. So there are exams from languages, one exam that offers a global perspective, one from science or math, and then a 5th exam from any other content area except for English and world language. This is an accolade. It's a way to recognize students who have taken a wide variety of AP exams and scored a 3 higher on all of them. We should mention that with the rollout of the AP capstone program that we will continue to do the AP International Diploma as a recognition. So right now, this will continue forward even with the capstone. We have about 5 minutes left. I'd like to just go over a couple of different resources and then maybe take a question or two if we have time. The resources that we've already looked at, AP Central, this is sort of a Clearhouse page. There's a lot of great information there, including the Explore AP student page, though, that you might want to take a look at is the AP Coordinator homepage. This page is sometimes best found by Google AP Coordinator homepage, and you'll see from the screenshot that there's a plethora of downloadable resources for you. There's also on the left sidebar a number of pieces of information about different sort of moments in the AP Coordinator timeline. Just to give you an example of what some of the downloads are, the Share AP is a flyer that you can distribute to students and parents. If people are asking you about, recognition in universities and the relationship of AP and higher education, there's a piece there which is nice. There is a tutorial also for new coordinators. It's a 7 or 8 part series of how to get your program up and running. It's downloadable and viewable on demand. So in addition to that, their monthly newsletter, and there's also available for download on that homepage that we just looked at. If you're not receiving this, please do write to us at the email that we have at the end of this session. You'll see it in a couple of minutes, and or download the newsletter monthly. Professional development opportunities. I mentioned before that we are attempting to offer more and more professional development opportunities out of the U.S. And I know Canadian colleagues also have professional development opportunities. I have not included the Canadian events in here just because of space. In fact, I stopped at March, and we have workshops after March also. So this is a little snapshot here of all of the different places that we are going to be, the different subjects that we're offering. You can access this through AP Central, or you can simply Google AP International B and find our site. So, resources to mention, I know we're running short on time, but AP Potential, if school administers PSAT, like to use the PSAT scores to identify potential AP students. AP Potential is an excellent way to do that. There is a great demonstration on the AP Potential site. I invite you to take a look at that. And the other piece that I think is an undervalued resource is the AP Instructional Planning Report. This drives to you and to your teachers exams every year. And what it does is it attempts to provide group means on strands within the exam. So for the exam, this is an AP Bio exam. You can see that the molecules and cells of the AP Bio exam had 26 questions. The mean worldwide, students on average got 13.5 of those questions correct. The group mean, this teacher's students the previous year got 15.7. So you can gauge which of the topics is a strength for you and your teaching, and you can modify your instruction as a result based on how your kids have done on any given section for years. So the AP Instructional Planning Report is a resource. And we've come to, at exactly the 1 hour mark, we've come to the end of our prepared webinar. I would love to answer a couple of questions that came in that I think are pertinent to the whole group. I hope that we've hit all of these different topics. As answering one or two questions, I would again invite you, if you have school-specific questions, questions, follow anything, we have different emails. This is our personal development email. This is likely the email that you saw before when you registered to take this webinar. I'd also invite you to directly, and I am going to post in the chat my ebhartman@collegeboard.org, and we will work with you on any sort of specific issues that you're having. I'd like to answer questions, though. We had a question about the capstone, the AP capstone program. We went through that part quickly, but the questions were if, how to program if we're interested. I'd invite you, please email me directly. I'm overseeing implementation schools outside of the U.S. Canada. If you're interested in implementing this in Canada, AP leader Georgia Wanis is able to work with you on that. If you don't have Georgia's contact, again, you can email me or the PD_international, and we will get that information. When will the capstone program start? This question I saw maybe once or twice. We have a limited number of schools that are in the pilot program right now. We have a limited number of schools that are preparing for implementation in 2014, 2015. So the earliest that you would be eligible to join would be the 2015-2016 school year, which would be about 2 years to really get everything in place, which is good. So plenty of time there. And I had another question about the availability of AP scores online. The AP scores online are students have access to that at the beginning of July. Recognize that 12th graders or graduating seniors may want their scores a little bit earlier to get to universities, but please understand, because of our centralized reading scoring system, we do our best to get those scores up, but we're really able to get them out before the first week of July. So it's sort of difficulty with the scoring system or the score reporting or anything like that, I invite you to email us and we'll help out. The last question was, will these slides be available to download? They are available on the webinar is available on our professional development page, and I'm going to ask Annie and Stephanie to send out the link for the download to the webinar, and I don't have a problem if you want to post slides and do downloadable PDF of the slides without the audio or the chat. That's perfectly fine also. So look for an email come from us in the next couple of days as follow-up, and I just want to thank everybody for coming. It's been great to connect with you. We'll do another webinar in February or March with more specifics about the exam administration as such. In the meantime, if you do need anything at all, please email us. Thanks very much and have a great day or evening.